Hello, and welcome back to Literally Anything, the podcast where we talk about literally anything. I'm Sammy, and this lovely lady next to me is Lizzie. Lizzie, do you want to give us the agenda for today's episode?
We are talking about Sephora kids and iPad babies. What
Mm,
a interesting
yeah.
generation.
hmm But first, before we get too
Mhm.
serious, we are going to do Song of the Week. You want to give us your song, Lizzie?
I was thinking we should change this segment to Sammy's song of the week and Lizzie's Stray Kids song of the week because mine's like one
Okay.
band. Um, my song of the week is a song called Awkward Silence
hmm
by Stray Kids.
Okay.
It's one of their older songs, like from 2018, kind of, but
hmm
it's cute. It's a cute song. That's my, yeah.
Okay. Well, mine is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Great song, great song. And then the other one is, I always have two. I can't just have one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The other one is So American by Olivia Rodrigo.
Sounds
She,
like you.
anyway,
So
get
offended
those
by
songs.
that.
What?
You were so offended by that.
I was, because I was, and I still am, and I will forever be offended. Anyway.
Oh.
So, Sephora kids, the
Mhm.
10-year-old Sephora's kids that are terrorizing employees and ruining tester products for people who actually use makeup and skincare. Dude, those kids scare me so much.
But you know what? There's one person that is to blame. The
Who?
main person to blame are the parents
Yeah.
because you can't like shove your phone in your kid's face and tell them to use bubbly products or whatever and expect them.
$80 moisturizer on a face
Yeah.
that has not started puberty, so does not
Mm-mm.
need it. Has the perfect pH and hormonal balance ever. And they're using $80 products and higher. It is so crazy. Dude. And they spend more time on the internet than we do. And we've been
Yeah.
on it longer. I've been on the internet since I was 14. Well, 13. And I don't, we never had this kind of influence.
Mm-mm.
These poor kids. I just feel so bad, dude. Because they're having all these things thrown in their face. It's like, um, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. My whole brain literally turned off. That was so scary. I'm not kidding. Everything went black. That was weird. Anyway, um, yeah, they're having all these things thrown in their faces, and then they see a 16-year-old do it, or a 17, or an adult do it, and think, oh, I need to be doing that when they're 10 to 12 years old. You know what I was
And
doing at that
younger.
age? Oh, yeah. And I saw a 6-year-old doing it. And who gave them the phone?
The parents.
And who told them to record?
Their parents.
Their parents. Get your
Hmm.
children off the internet. They don't need to be there. Oh my gosh. I hate when I'm scrolling, doing my doom scroll at night because I'm just a girl. Um, and it's a 6-year-old on my screen, not with a parent, just by themselves recording their skincare routine. First off, you have to be 14 to be able to be on the app. These kids are lying about their ages. Instagram isn't doing anything about it. And their parents are saying, "Oh, but it's controlled by me, so they're fine." They're kids, bro. This makes me so mad. Like you're teaching them to do this. How
And
else
think
would they know these things?
I think about kids being young on the internet
It's
is
gross.
that yeah, but also like people like some kids they don't look young,
hmm
they don't look like they're 10 or 8 or whatever. And so
They
people think
look
that they're
like they're 16.
yeah, so people think that they're grown teenagers, and so they hate on them because they think, "Oh, you should be smarter about this,"
Mhm.
not knowing, "Oh, that's a child."
Yeah.
Like, let's give them some grace, you
And
know?
then another thing, there are so many sickos on the internet,
Mhm.
and you're letting your 6-year-old put on makeup and act like they're 20 years old, while there's probably a bunch of gross men watching this. And they are, if you look at, I don't know who I was watching, but it was about the LeBrant family and how all their views go up when their child is in the thumbnail. And you see the demographic, all older, mostly male, and they know this. They're not stupid. Like you can see where the views dip and where they go up. And they go
Mhm.
up when their child is in the thumbnail. And they've been doing it since she was like 3. And now they have like 20 kids. It's crazy. Get your children off the internet. They don't have to be there. And I hear adults be like, but I don't want them to feel left out. I don't want them, I don't care. Your child is going to develop poor body image, depression, anxiety. And this isn't just me pulling this out of my you know what. There's statistics. There's all these resources and information about these things. Get your child off the internet. They don't have to be there. And if they get bullied for it, womp womp, dude. Because that's better than what's going on the internet. All right. It's so sad.
Also, like, I don't think children I think there should be an age limit for kids to be on the internet because kids haven't like, their brains haven't fully developed.
Mm-mm.
And so they're going to post, like, either if they're, Sephora kids or just iPad babies or whatever, they're going to post some stupid things. They're going to say some stupid things. You know why? Because they're children.
Mhm.
And I think it's, you know, and then people, grown-ups, will hate on them and bully them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I mean, when we were kids, like, I know for a fact that, I used to film videos of my toys, giving them voices and stuff, but we didn't put it on the internet or anything. But kids these days, they do that. They do film themselves singing to a kidsy song. They do film their toys and stuff, and it's dumb, but they're kids,
Mhm.
I think people like expect children on the internet to be smart to, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. And they don't get a grasp of what they're doing. Like you put
Mm-mm,
this on the internet and your account's public, anyone and everyone and their mom can see that. And they don't understand that. They don't get that this is a platform used all around the world, used by millions upon millions of people. And they're going to see your face and you're going to leave a digital footprint and it's never going to leave. And I don't think kids have a good enough understanding of what they're doing on the app to be on there. Like, if you don't get how many people can actually see this, you shouldn't be on there. And if you don't have the mental capacity to understand that, oh, they said something mean, but they're also probably some 30-year-old in a basement, it doesn't matter. They don't know that. They don't understand how dangerous this app is. Parents do, and they still let their kid do it. And
if you're
it's
gonna let your
gross.
if you're gonna let your kid have a Instagram account or TikTok account or whatever, make them private their account,
Hmm.
because it's better. I mean, it's better to be safe
And
and have
sorry.
like, yeah, it's better to
Yeah.
be safe and have only like a few followers than to have 1,000 followers and be
Hmm.
endangered, you know.
Exactly.
Mhm,
Yeah, they might complain about it, but listen to their complaints. You're not going to die. You're the parent. You need to have control. And I
mhm.
know it's like, oh, but y'all aren't parents. Y'all don't understand. Yeah, but we're on the internet.
Mhm.
And we've seen stuff on the internet that's gross and should not be on there. And these kids are exposed to it. And it's really violent sometimes. I saw a car crash on Instagram. Yeah, I'm seeing car crashes, motorcycle accidents, people falling out of windows. Like, and you're letting your child be on there? Like, it's crazy. I was scrolling for 2 minutes and saw that. And there's an 8-year-old in the comments. Like, you're exposing your kid to too much too soon. Yes, this is the world we live in. They don't have to see that at 8 years old. That shouldn't be their concern. Their concern should be, what am I having for lunch tomorrow at school? What am I going to play on the playground at school? Like, this should not be their worry. Or, oh, how long is it going to take me to get ready for school tomorrow? Because I have to do my makeup and my hair and put hot curlers in. And no, they're kids. Let them be kids, please.
Mm.
I feel like a lot of us grew up so fast, and we're trying to tell y'all now, stop. You don't have to act like you're 16. You're 12, you're 10. Act like it. Be a kid.
Mhm.
It's fine. And it's socially acceptable. You'll be okay if your friends are a little more mature than you. And they're actually not. You think they're mature, but you don't actually know how they are at home when they're by themselves. They're probably the most immature person in the world. So act like a kid. It's okay. It's safe. You won't die. Because you can only be a kid for so long. Once you get to high school, you gotta you gotta grow up a little bit. But if you don't have to, don't. I say this all the time to my friend's little sister. If you don't have to get a job and grow up, don't. Stay where you are. You're fine. And I hope she listens because she doesn't have to grow up. Um,
Also, like to go with like kids being kids,
mm,
it's like you know, generations change
mm,
with children, so like so we can expect children these days to act and to do exactly what we did as kids, just like how our parents couldn't expect us to act like how they did as kids, and so on and so forth. But like, I think no matter what the generation is, like what the timeline is for children, I think there are main things that kids need to have. And it's one, just being a kid, two,
yeah,
just playing. Kids play. Like, don't scroll on the internet. Don't worry about how you look or how others look at you. Like, just play and have fun. Like, don't care about
exactly.
anything. And then also, oh man, I had another one. Um, yeah, it's just I don't know, I think kids should always just be carefree, and I feel like right now they're not
They're
carefree
not.
because
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Mm.
Now to segue into iPad kids, they scare me, bro. Oh my gosh, and they're so annoying. Like you can tell the difference between an iPad kid and a Sephora kid.
Mm.
I'd much rather hang out with the iPad kid, but still, that's kind of scary, man. Oh man, and then did you see the thing where the kids were? Oh, I hate I'm gonna say this. The skibbity toilet thing.
Mm.
Dude, that was the stupidest thing. And again, iPad kids have access to the internet and in the worst ways possible. And they're the ones that are like doing all the Fortnite dances now. And it's so cute, but it's kind of sad. What's the one I'm trying to think of? Um, oh, it was this kid. His mom told him to turn off the iPad, and he was like, "No, I want to skip it." And he just kept screaming that over and over. And I was like, "That's who's gonna run our country one day." So when we're all old and in retirement, that's who's taking over.
It was funny though, I mean, I was kind of an iPad kid in a way because
Hmm
we had a family iPad with games on
Yeah,
it.
but you weren't weird.
Yeah, but like, so it's weird that like us, like when we were kids, we had iPads. I mean, I think we turned out fine. Like we were fine when we
Yeah.
were kids.
But
But why is there such a difference now?
and I can tell you because they've had it since birth. We didn't get
Oh
it
yeah.
till we were cognitive
Hmm.
and could be monitored, and restrictions were actually restrictions. Um, they were given this when they were like a baby, not even a child, a baby, and they've just grown up on it. And now we're seeing the repercussions because they're all a bunch of little weirdos. We're seeing repercussions of this, not just because they're weird, because they don't know how to read. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
So kids in fourth, fifth grade are reading at a second grade level. And it's not just at one school, it's at multiple schools across the country because we're putting iPads in front of these kids' faces and not teaching them anything. Like these kids need to go touch some grass or something, bro. Because they're not reading and they're not doing good in school and they're being disrespectful. And I'm going to sound like a parent, it's because of that darn phone. But this time it is. And it's sad because we had a real childhood and these kids had iPads. Sure, it's fun. Sure, you can talk to friends. You can make friends online. Dangerous. Do not do that. But we had actual experiences. We actually met people, and COVID had a lot to do with it. I understand that. But again, parents could have done something else. But now these kids are suffering for it, and now they're all kind of they're a little behind. They'll catch up one day. I know they will. When they learn that they've been on their phone too much. But again, they grew up with this. We didn't. Like they've had it since day one. So they don't know a world without it. And that's kind of scary. Because what are they going to do when the Wi Fi goes out? They have a panic attack in the corner. They're rocking back and forth. Oh my God, guys. I don't know what to do. Skippity toilet won't play. I'm going to shoot myself, bro. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I think there needs to be a big shift and change for all the Gen Z parents. If any of y'all have kids, don't give them a phone. Don't give them an iPad.
Just wait, you know?
And if you give them
Like,
a phone because you need to contact them, there's
mhm.
flip phones and there's still phones where you have to pay for minutes and they don't have the internet. They can have
Actually,
that. They don't need a
they sh
smartphone.
you know, for me when I was a kid, I got my first phone at like 8, I think. It was an iPhone 3. And it had you couldn't there was no number on it, so
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't call or text, and there was no email, none of that, so you couldn't contact anybody, right? It
Uh-huh.
was just for games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it wasn't even TikTok or anything like that at the time, you know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have Instagram. It's like if you're gonna let your kid have a phone and you don't want them contacting people, like give them a phone that doesn't have a number on it,
Mm-hmm.
that can't have Instagram. Give
Yep.
them an old phone that can't do anything except play a mobile
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I agree
game.
to an extent because I do think with how the world is now, a child needs to have contact with their parent in
Yeah.
some form. So I love flip phones. They make them for old people. I think you can give that to your child. They will live. They will be fine. They'll have a phone. Plus, flip phones are cool, bro. Have you seen those things? Just whip that out and flick it open. Bro, so cool. And if you're one of those vintage parents, it's basically vintage. It's got that old style. Your kid will be in your aesthetic. Unless you're one of those weird beige moms. Put some color in your house, bro. Saddest thing I've ever seen.
Also, I don't think parents should over shelter their children
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
But like, because I feel like there's like a big contrast between letting our kids do whatever they want and,
Mm-hmm.
endangering them,
Yes.
and then over sheltering your children.
Mm-hmm.
And because when you do that, they're not ready
Yeah.
for the world. I've seen it. Like I've seen kids who are overly sheltered. And
Mhm.
I think about it, I'm like, either they're gonna walk into the real world and
Mhm.
they're gonna go hog wild. Like they're gonna,
Yeah.
go see all the wrong people. They're gonna overdrink. They're gonna get into some bad things
Mhm.
because they're free. They can do whatever they want.
Yep.
Or they're gonna be terrified and they're not gonna talk to anybody. They're
Mhm.
gonna have a hard time, getting
Adjusting.
jobs. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like don't think that we're just saying like, oh, don't let your kids do
Yeah.
anything or have any
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they can do things. Just don't
Yes.
give them the internet. Don't give them
Don't
access
give them
to
access to
yeah.
negative influences if they
Mhm.
don't need it. They don't need it, they don't have to have it. And also, strict parents make sneaky kids, and it's proven.
Mhm.
I've seen it. Um, so there's a balance, and no parent's perfect.
Mhm.
We get that. We understand that. And parenting is really hard and is a full-time job. It's not easy, but this does make it easier. Because if your child's upset, you're upset. How do you make them not upset? Don't give them these negative influences. And it'll be a little easier, just a little bit. Plus, your child will be amazing with adults. They won't have these negative influences. They won't see how other kids act towards adults, which is highly disrespectful. I've never seen such a disrespectful generation. Like, even kids our age, I've seen some ridiculous things, even in college, and you can tell what their influences were. They're disrespectful, they don't know how to listen, and they've never had to have a job, too, because some of these kids
Imagine
are also privileged.
imagine like when these kids actually do have to get a job, like how are they
Oh,
gonna act at work? How are they gonna keep a job if they
and
can't
I
act
can answer
respectable?
that too. Because I knew a kid, their first job was at a job I was at. This was my second job, but I've also had 30 jobs. Um, she, again, disrespectful, didn't know how to do anything, and would just play on her phone the whole time. And she got in a lot of trouble. She was always getting written up. She was always getting called out, and no one liked her. Why? Because she didn't know how to be in a workplace, and you could tell. She was there just for some extra cash. And it was sad because we were the same age and we were both treated differently because we were both raised completely different. She never had to have a job, and I kind of needed to have a job. And I understood respect towards people older than you, and not even just people older than you. You should respect everyone. It's not just, oh, respect your elders, respect everyone. And if you do that, people will immediately like you because they're like, oh, she's actually nice. She knows when to hold her tongue, not to talk back, do what she's told. It's just a big switch up, man. And the younger kids that are coming up, even worse. And I see it every day. And it's really sad because they're
Also,
going to take over the
parents
world.
also like with iPad babies, like their parents don't discipline them, they just give them an iPad to shut them up.
Hmm.
And like at restaurants when a kid starts, throwing a temper tantrum, the parents just go, "Oh, watch this YouTube video." Instead of like taking them out and chatting with them, saying like, "Hey buddy, calm, stop talking," you know? Like so I think they don't know like I mean iPad babies don't know like consequences. Like
Mm-mm.
when they get a job and their boss is not going to just hand them over an iPad when they're sucking at their job.
Yeah,
Their spouse isn't going to hand them a YouTube video when they're in an argument. Like they need to know what consequences are. They need to be disciplined in some sort of way.
exactly. And that's why I'm not having kids because that is my biggest fear is having a kid and they end up being the worst thing in the world. No thanks. Don't want to risk that. That is my greatest fear. I would actually die if that happened. Because no, I'm not gonna further that point. I'm gonna stop.
Well, as somebody who does want to have kids, I will say I do have some restrictions, like, you know, like be careful with phones, don't, and then also I probably won't let them have like Instagram or TikTok or if those things are still around. I mean, who
Oh
knows what
yeah,
will happen then.
TikTok might get
Um,
banned.
but if
Yay!
if those things are around or there's a new social media app, like I won't let them have those until like they're 16 or something, which I know
Yeah.
some people will be like, oh, that's too strict, but guess what? I'm not
Not
gonna
your
let
kid,
my
not your problem.
yeah, I'm not gonna let my 10-year-old have Instagram, you
That's
know.
crazy.
I'm not actually, you know what? I'm not gonna let my kids, no matter how old they are, I'm not gonna let them have Twitter. Nobody nice.
No one
No,
needs to be on
nuh-uh.
there.
Can
That's
we
a
get rid of
lot.
Twitter? Like,
For real. We don't
mm-mm.
need it. It's toxic and people know it's toxic.
No, I got rid of Twitter a long time ago. I was like, I
You
am
had
not
Twitter?
going back.
Dude,
Huh?
I was too scared to get Twitter. I've
Well,
never had.
I got it for like the like book community, and even the book
Oh,
community was negative. It's like,
what the
come on,
heck?
guys. Yeah. Uh-uh.
I think Twitter is where all things die, including yourself. Twitter's scary, man. I could not. There's too many people who take freedom of speech too seriously. I know you have it, but calm down a bit. Let's just not speak so much.
Also, like, kind of going back to the Sephora kids,
Mhm.
like if your kid wants to, you know, play with makeup, because when I was little, I liked
Mhm.
playing with makeup. Get them the cheapest kid makeup you can find.
Exactly.
Because first of all, it's cheap, and second of all, it doesn't do anything. Like
For
you can
real.
barely tell. You can barely tell
Mhm.
it's on there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, makeup has chemicals in it. Why do you want your kid to have chemicals on their face so young?
Mhm.
They can wait till they're 16. They'll be
Yeah,
fine.
and if they want to do skincare, because I like, it can be fun. It can be like a spa,
Yeah,
like get them fun face mask, kid
exactly.
face masks. Get them like maybe a moisturizer and a facial cleanser. Like I think that's safe. But
Mhm.
don't get them wrinkle. What is that?
Wrinkle cream.
Yeah. Have you seen the kids that have yelled at Sephora employees because they want to give them wrinkle cream?
Have you seen the video where the girl, this little 10-year-old, comes up to this couple and they bought something she wanted? And she goes up to them. She goes, they don't have any left. Like, I went and asked and they don't have any. So can I just get it from you? Like, can I just have it? I'll pay you for it. I'll give you some money. It's like,
Mm.
girl. And the lady was like, what do you need it for? She goes, I just need it because I want it. Whoa. I would have slapped that kid, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Would have
Also with
slapped and ran.
with like the anti-aging cream or like the dark circle whatever
Yeah.
stuff. I think it's so weird how nowadays kids are more offended when somebody tells them they don't need it. Like
Mhm.
we are complimenting you. You have great skin. You know why?
Yes.
Because you're practically a baby, and babies have good skin.
You're in the third grade. Your skin
Yeah,
is perfect, babe. I promise.
you don't
Okay?
need anti-aging cream. You're not old.
When you're in your 20s, you can get anti-aging cream. That's when you can use it. You don't
Imagine
even know
getting
what's, you can't even pronounce the words of the ingredients. If you can't even do that, you shouldn't have it. Okay?
like wait, like just think about getting more offended that somebody tells you you're not wrinkly. Like, just imagine
Dude,
getting offended by that. Like, what did you want?
that's
What do you
crazy.
want us to tell you? Oh yeah, girl, you're wrinkly. You got dark spots. Get this cream that costs $100.
That's wild. Please be a kid. Be a kid. Please go smear mud on your face. Like, come on, live a little. You're gonna be the most boring adult in the world. Be fun for 2 seconds. My gosh, bro. You know what should be a requirement? Kids have to live in the country for at least a year. Toughen them up a little bit. Yeah. Or at least a summer. Like a requirement to go to summer camp in the woods. Like Sandy Creek. Dude, you want an experience? You go to Sandy Creek Bible Camp. That's the most rugged camping you could do for a Sephora kid. Because it's not rugged, but if a city kid went there, it's rugged. But I went there, I was like, oh, it's like I never left home. It's just a little sandy.
I feel like we're gonna see a bunch of Sephora kids and iPad babies on Dr. Phil in the future. He should
I
do a
hope
whole
so.
no, he should do a whole episode just like with like a whole bunch of Sephora kids.
They put makeup products on him. They say, well, if we don't need it, then you definitely need it. They recommend products to Dr. Phil. That's amazing. I do want to see that. We need to start a petition and make Dr. Phil put Sephora kids.
No, he takes away their bubbly products and they
They all
start
have
crying.
withdrawal. They're all shaking in the corner. Bro, he sends them to the ranch. He doesn't even think. He just goes, turn around and go in the van. That's hilarious. I need to see that.
Mhm.
Oh, I'd start watching that again. Did you ever go through that phase where you were just rewatching all the old like Dr. Phil videos that made all these kids go viral?
No, when I was dog sitting, what like in the morning, one of the only things that was on usually was Dr. Phil.
That's amazing. Bro, that's crazy. I want to watch Dr. Phil now. Dang it.
Well, sometimes it's boring. Like sometimes it's like juicy, and then sometimes like,
Like
oh, my
all the
son.
no, all the old ones.
Oh,
Old 2013,
yeah.
2014. Best ones. 100%. Or the have you seen the Scared Straight
Mhm.
videos? Love those. Oh my. But only the old ones because TV sucks now. Hmm, that's crazy. Well, I don't have any more to add. I feel like I've yapped enough.
Yeah. How long have how long have we been recording?
44 minutes. Decent. We're finally under an hour. That's crazy. So we could end it here
Mhm.
if you want.
Yeah. Oh, am I doing outro?
Yes.
Oh my God. Girl, I thought you were doing outro. And so
No, I did
oh my
intro.
God. Bro, I had like such a good outro for this week. I mean, I still do. I was like, oh, dang it, she's doing outro. I have to tell it to her.
Oh,
Yeah, but I don't have to.
yay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Are you ready?
no,
No? Okay. Wait, wait.
no.
No, we just sit here for like an hour.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, that
Actually, I'm not
concludes.
ready.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna shoot you through the screen.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Well,
actually, okay, I'm sorry. I love you.
okay, okay. Well, for the third time, this concludes this week's episode of our podcast. Make sure to subscribe and like, share with a friend or family member or a stranger. I don't know. Um, Follow us on Instagram at literally anything the podcast. And join us next week as we talk about something that is everywhere, all around the world. We love you. We're praying for you. We'll see you next time. Bye.